Good morning, Sir De La Cruz, and good morning, classmates. I am Zermer Arfosarito, codename Banal, and I am here today to discuss with you the subtopic Descriptive Statistics, more specifically, the measurement of central tendency. I am aware that this will only serve as somewhat a review na lang to some of us, kasi we have already discussed this lesson during our junior and senior high school days. So, without further ado, let's begin the discussion. Before anything else, let us familiarize ourselves first with descriptive statistics. What are descriptive statistics nga ba? Ayan. Descriptive statistics are a branch of statistics. Some of you may ask me, Zai, bakit branch ng statistics? Ganito kasi siya. We know that statistics in general is all about numerical data that has a variety of response. Statistical analysis can be categorized into two types, as descriptive statistics, the topic we are discussing today, and the inferential statistics. We will leave the latter for discussion in another time kasi hindi naman ito under our scope and sequence. But if you're still curious about what is the difference between the two, when you use descriptive statistics, you are merely describing what the data is or indicates. On the other hand, when using inferential statistics, you are attempting to draw assumptions that go beyond the data at hand. Get you na ba? Sana get you nyo? And going back, it consists of methods for organizing, displaying, and describing data by using tables, graphs, and summary descriptive measures. If we deal with research, like the quantitative research we have done in the past, descriptive statistics usually takes the form of visual graphics, charts, diagrams, and basic mathematics to describe data. Another trait of descriptive statistics is that the descriptive measures we obtain are often numerical in nature. For instance, when we talk about measures of central tendency, we refer to the values of the mean, median, and mode as summary measures. Similarly, when we talk about measures of dispersion, we refer to the numerical values of the range, variance, and standard deviation as most common summary measures. And finally, to conclude the definitions we have tackled, according to Kaur et al. In 2018, descriptive statistics describe the connection between variables in a sample or population to summarize data in an ordered manner. And that's it. We are now done with defining and knowing what descriptive statistics truly are. We then move on to the types of descriptive statistics. I have researched the four major types, and they are: una, the measures of central tendency. Does it sound familiar, guys? Ito kasi ay all about finding the mean, median, and mode of a dataset. This measure locates the distribution by various points and ginagamit natin ito kapag we want to show the average or ang most commonly indicated response in a group of data. Second is the measures of frequency. That revolves around counting, the percent, and the frequency itself. Pinapakita naman dito kung gaano kadalas nangyayari ang isang bagay. And we use this when we want to show how often a response is given. Pangatlo ay ang measures of dispersion or variation. This one may also be familiar to some of us as it calculates for the range, variance, and standard deviation of a dataset. We use this when we want to show how spread out the data are. Furthermore, it is helpful to know when your data are so spread out that it affects the mean, because it may lead to some other implications. And lastly, the fourth major type of descriptive statistics is the measures of position. It involves finding a piece of data's percentile, decile, or quartile ranks. For instance, let's say a score, and where does it fall in relation to one another. Moreover, it relies on standardized scores. Furthermore, this is commonly used when we compare scores to a normalized score. An example of which is finding someone's rank or position in a test if they are at the upper end or at the lower end of the spectrum of said scores. Because of the limited time for today's lesson, we would only discuss the first major type of descriptive statistics, the measures of central tendency. Reminder lang na ang type of data to be discussed and used for examples later is only for ungrouped data. Okay? So, given that we have already briefly mentioned its definition earlier, let us move on to specifically defining each measure, and later on we will give examples on how to find them. The first one is the mean, also known as the average, arithmetic mean, or population mean. Its mathematical notation or symbol is the x-bar. Fun fact! Kung ating matatandaan ang pinag-aralan noong senior high school, under the subject Statistics and Probability, we have encountered the other notation for the mean, particularly the sample mean, denoted as the Greek letter mu. Ang pagkakaiba nila sa isa't isa is that the sample mean is the mean of sample values collected, while the population mean is the mean of all the values in the population. For example, ang sample mean ay nanggaling sa mga students under the College of Business Administration Program or CBA. Tapos, ang population mean naman ay nahango sa mga students from all of the colleges here in LPU, mula sa College of Arts and Sciences hanggang College of Technology. Take note, if the sample is random and sample size is large, then the sample mean would be a good estimate of the population mean. Para mahanap ang mean, we simply add all of the values and divide the sum to the number of values added. The next one is the median, defined as the middle value of a set of variables. It is denoted by the mathematical notation x with tilde, the same accent we often see in enye. Now, to find the median, we just arrange the values in ascending order and consider the middle value found in the arranged set of values as the median. This technique is used in sets which have an odd number of values. Pero paano naman kapag ang values, they sum up to an even number? Simple lang. We add the two nearest values in the middle and divide by 2. And that is the median of the set of values, regardless kung hindi siya makita originally sa set of values. Kumbaga, for example, 33 and 35 are the values nearest to the middle. What we do is we add them. 33 plus 35 is 68. Divide 68 by 2 and the answer is 34. As you can see, wala sa set of values ang number 34, pero iyon pa rin ang median ng dataset. The final one is the mode, the value that occurs most frequently in the set of values. There is no standard symbol associated with the mode, but most textbooks denote it by the symbol mo. To find the mode of a given dataset, aayusin mo lang ulit ang values in ascending order and count the number of times a specific number occurred. The one with the highest frequency is the mode of the set. The question naman ngayon, Zai, paano naman kapag dalawang numbers ay magkapareho ng bilang? We consider both numbers as the mode of the dataset, at ang tawag doon ay bimodal dataset. The prefix bi meaning two. Kapag three modes, it's called trimodal, and so on and so forth. We are officially done with discussing the three measures of central tendency. Now, let us put our theory into practice by answering the mathematical problems shown in the screen. Find the mean, median, and mode of the number of days in each month in a leap year. Again, to find the mean, simply add all of the numbers of days in each month. That leaves us with a total of 366 days. We then divide it into 12 because that is the number of months we have each year. This equals to 30.5, which is the average days in a month. For the median, we arrange the set of values from lowest to highest, and we found out that the number of values are even. Therefore, we resort to adding the two values nearest to the middle value and dividing it in half, which is equivalent to 31. Finally, in finding the mode, we just count the number of occurrences and a specific number appeared. 29 occurred once, 30 occurred 4 times, while 31 occurred 7 times. Therefore, 31, who got the highest frequency of occurrence in the dataset, is the mode of the problem. Let's move on to the next question. Find the mean, median, and mode of the test. Let's move on to the next question. Find the mean, median, and mode of the test scores of students who have taken their first long quiz in basic accounting. Again and again, we add the values of the test scores of the students and divide it by 9 because the sample only collected 9 scores. The sum equals to 308. Divided by 9, we get 34.22 as the average test scores of the sample students. Next, we need to find the median. To do so, we must arrange the values in ascending order And then just locate the middle value since the number of values is an odd number. 36 becomes the median of the set. Last but not the least, the mode can be found by counting how many times a specific number occurred. The scores 25, 26, 28, 34, 36, and 39 all occurred only once, but 40 occurred thrice. Thus, 40 is the mode of the dataset. And that concludes our lesson for today. Thank you all for listening. Again, this is Zymer Efrosarito, codename Banal, signing out. Peace be with you. Peace!